Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be trying some new products. I have the Falscara False Lashes. I have a Buxom palette. I have two cream products from Milani. I have a blush from Nabla. I also have a new skin tint. Then I purchased some lip products at Morphe. So I do have quite a few things to show you guys today. So we're just going to go ahead and just get started. So I did put on my Good Molecules silicone-free priming moisturizer. This is what I'm going to use as my primer today. I've been loving this for my entire face. It goes on really smooth. It feels really nice. I don't see an issue with my pores as well. So that's what I'm using for my primer today. We're going to get started with the Buxom palette. This is the Buxom Ash K Holm palette, and this is the box that it came in. Now from what I read is that she is an artist, a makeup artist for Buxom, if I'm not mistaken. The shades are insanely beautiful. Look at that. Look how gorgeous they are. So I'm super excited to try this. I am going to put on some eye primer really quickly. I'm going to change it up a little bit with the eye primer because I've been using my Mario Master Eye Prep and Set Primer. So today I'm going to go in with my P. Louise. This is actually in the shade Rumor 2. I've had this for a while, and this sucker is huge. Look how big that is. I don't use it often enough, and I really do need to use it more often because it is it's a very good eye primer. So I'm just going to place that all over the lid. I am going to set that primer with the Jaclyn Hill palette. I just recently got this palette and I have been loving it. This one is actually the light to medium palette. This palette is so good, guys. So I'm just going to take one of the shades and I'm going to set that primer. Now I'm going to go in with this palette and I'm using this Morphe E28 brush. I think it is, yeah. The E28 brush. I'm going to go into Unfiltered, which is this one right here. And I'm just going to place that all over and just kind of blend it out. Unfiltered looks like kind of like a mustard yellow. Kind of. It's not dark mustard yellow. It does have a slight yellow tint to it. These are a little powdery, but the pigmentation's really good so far. I'm going to use the Sonia Kashuk pointed crease brush. I'm going to go into this shade Teddy. And Teddy is a very muted brown. I'm definitely going to use the purple in this palette. That's kind of what drew me to the palette, is these purple shades. I'm going to go into the shade Royalty. I'm going to use this Morphe E32 with it. I don't know if this is going to distribute the product well, but we're going to try. If not, oh yeah, it is. I was going to say, if it didn't work, then we're definitely going to get another brush. This one's doing a good job. Look how pretty that purple is, guys. So gorgeous. And honestly, I don't think the camera's doing it justice because it is pretty. I'm just kind of packing that on the lid. I'm going to do the other eye and then I'm going to blend a lot of this out. All right, I'm going to take that pointed crease brush and I'm just going to blend the edges. The eyeshadow's coming off when I blend the edges. It's coming off my lid. Do you see that, guys? It's like fading. That's weird. Okay, let me try another. I'm gonna try a little bit fluffier brush. Maybe I can distribute the product a little bit better. Just pack that on the lid and maybe just come up into the crease with this brush. I'm taking that same brush that I took earlier. I'm just going to blend it out and it's still sweeping the product off my lid. We're just gonna leave it like that. I'm gonna go in with the shade Major, which is right here, and I'm going to pack that on the top of that Royalty shade. And that was a bad idea because it's taking off that Royalty shade. Maybe if I use my finger. Let me try and wet my brush. Let's see what this product does with a wet brush. And I'm going back into Major. And I'm just gonna pack that on. Okay, so I like the way Major went on with a wet brush. I'm going to wet the brush again and try to go into Royalty again with a wet brush and see if it distributes the product differently. It does come off a little more pigmented with the wet brush. It's a little bit harder to blend because that's more of a matte shadow. It's not a shimmer shade, so it's a little bit harder to blend. Now I'm going to take the pointed crease brush, just kind of go over the edges. I don't see like hardly any fallout. I'm going to take a makeup wipe. I'm just going to clean up the edges because I don't see a lot of fallout on my skin, which is nice. All right, guys, so now we're gonna go in with the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Perfector 4-in-1 Glow Makeup. So this is what the product looks like. I did pick up the shade medium. There were like 4 shades if I'm not mistaken, and medium was what I picked because I feel like medium is a little bit dark, but I think it's gonna blend in really nicely. So I'm looking on Ulta's website, and yes, there are 4 shades. There's Fair Light, Light, Medium, and Medium Deep. So let's see, this says, this is the Instant Age Rewind Instant Perfector 4-in-1 Glow Makeup. It's Maybelline's first 4-in-1 makeup for a perfected glow look that primes, conceals, highlights, and even skin tone with light coverage, self-adjusting shades that blend into skin tone. So the benefits are it primes, conceals, highlights, and even skin tones. It has a built-in sponge applicator for an easy, quick application. And like I said, it is a self-adjusting shade. The way you use this is you're supposed to like click it up, kind of like the Instant Age Rewind Concealer, and then you blend it into the skin. So what we're gonna do is just take off the top and then just kind of twist it to where we can get the product out. Okay, so here comes the product. I'm gonna go ahead and dab it on my skin because I do have clean skin, so I'm just gonna do it like this. So I'm just putting enough on so that it could just go all over the skin. I need to get a brush. I'm gonna go ahead and go in with this e.l.f. stipple brush, and I'm just going to blend that all out. This color looks a bit dark, but it says it's supposed to self-adjust to the skin, so we will see. I do like the glow. Do you guys see how glowy it is? Okay, so it's a very light coverage. It's not supposed to be like a foundation. You can actually use it as a foundation if you don't have any imperfections, but I will say it does give off a really beautiful glow on the skin, which I do like. But because I don't have enough coverage, I am gonna go in with a foundation that I've really been loving and that I recently picked back up. And this is the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation. This is in the shade Valencia. I am going in with my BK Beauty 101 brush. I love this brush for applying this foundation. And I'm just gonna see how this foundation goes over this product. Ooh. Looks nice. Oh gosh, it's so pretty. So this is supposed to prime, conceal, and highlight, and even the skin tone. My foundation looks really nice on top of that product. I really do like it. So I'm going to just get a little bit of my Tarte Shape Tape because I don't feel like that product really conceals anything because it's such light coverage. It does help even the skin tone out. I do believe that, but I don't believe like it conceals or anything like that. All right, so for concealer, I'm gonna go in with the Kylie Jenner Skin Concealer. I have been loving this, guys. It is so good. And I just put a little bit here, a little bit on the edges. It's got a thick consistency, and it's not super thick, but it's got a pretty thick consistency, but it just blends under my eyes so well, and it has like the best coverage. I don't know why I hadn't tried this sooner, but I have been loving this. It's so good. It conceals so well. All right, so now we're gonna go into these cream products by Milani. These are the Milani Supercharged Cheek and Lip Multi-Stick. This is electronic bronze. This one's called Spice Jolt. But these are the 2 shades that I picked up. I'm definitely excited about this one because it is a bronze shade. All right, guys, I adjusted the lights a little bit better so you guys can see. But this is what the bronzer looks like. It's a really pretty bronze shade. And I'm gonna swatch it so you guys can see. Oh gosh. You know what? This might not work on me. Do you see how light that is? It's like super light. Yeah, this is not gonna even show up on my skin tone. Wow, that's not gonna work. Yeah, that's too light. All right, let's swatch this other shade, which is Jolt, or Spice Jolt. What the heck? These don't have like any pigment at all. Look at that. I mean, they are so light. These are not gonna work on my skin. I'm gonna go in with my Wet n Wild Mega Glow Makeup Stick. This is a contour stick in the shade Maple. So I'm just gonna take a brush and I'm just gonna go into my cheeks with this Call Me Maple just to give me a little bit of bronziness. Now I am going to go over with powder. All right, I'm going to go ahead and powder with my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish in the shade number 3. So to set my under eyes, I'm going to go in with the Jaclyn Hill palette. So I am going to go in with this banana shade right here. Press that on my under eyes. I do like to put a little bit on my forehead. So for bronzer, I'm going to go in with the Essence Sun Club Matte Bronzing Powder Palette. I'm going to use, which shades? I'm going to use this shade and this shade here. And then I'm going to go in with the Skin Glazing Nabla Blush. This is the Glass Skin Finish Glow Powder. And this is what I'm going to use. I think this might be a highlighter, but I'm going to try it as a blush today. I purchased this when I purchased my Morphe lip product. I saw this in store and I thought, I have never tried any of the Nabla products as far as the face products. So I wanted to try this one because I heard these were really, really good. So this is what it looks like. Tap this off and then I'm just going to press it. Oh, that's pretty. I honestly don't think that this shade goes with my purple eyeshadow, but I still wanted to try this blush up. I am going to tone down the blush a little bit and I'm going to use my one size powder. Okay, I'm gonna do my eyebrows off camera and then we're gonna come back and I'm gonna try the Falscara. So I'm really excited about this. I hope these work on my eyelashes. They look like they're really easy to use, but yeah, I'll go ahead and do my eyebrows and then I'll come back and we'll start with this. All right guys, I do wanna go back into the Buxom palette and I want to use a few more of these shades. I am gonna go in with the Teddy shade that I went into earlier and I'm going to lay that on the bottom lash line. Just a light, very, very light coat of that. And then I'm going to go back into Royalty and I'm going to also put that on the bottom lash line and kind of connect it with the top. I did clean that up, but what I'm going to do is kind of blend out that line that I put there because I do want it to be a more smoked out look. So I'm just going to blend over it with this pencil brush. I am going to wet the pencil brush and I'm going to go into Major and I'm going to put that like right on top of that. All right, so now we're gonna go in with this Falscara. So here's what the kit looks like. So you've got your little kind of tweezer things to apply it, and then here's the bond. Here's what the bond looks like. This side right here is a seal, and this side is the bond. And what it says is that you coat your lashes with the bond, you place the wisps underneath, and then you lock it in with the seal. So let's try this. I'm gonna have to get my mirror for this, guys, because I cannot see very well. I want to curl my lashes, but I don't know. I don't know if I should curl them. Let's not curl them. Let's go ahead and do this. All right, so we're gonna start with the bond first, and I'm just going to brush it up through my eyelashes like you would mascara, and just make sure it coats all those lashes. I'm taking the first set of lashes and I'm using the applicator. I'm going underneath. It's not sticking to it. Okay, there's one. There it goes. That's another. So those were pretty easy to put on. Can you see the difference? They're really pretty. They look very natural. And I'm sure that if you wanted to, you could kind of like build it up, you know, kind of put more there. What I'm gonna do is take this and kind of press it together. Okay, so now what you're supposed to do is take the seal, and the seal, you put it underneath here, and it seals everything together. So like I said, they went on really well, very easy. I do need practice with these. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the other eye and I'll be right back. All right, let's go ahead and go into lips. So Morphe actually had a sale. I went ahead and purchased like 4 lip liners and then 2 of their Crayon glosses. These I've never tried, but I have tried their lip liners. So I purchased ones that I had been eyeing and I hadn't gotten yet. So I got Sweet Tea, which I hear this is a really beautiful nude shade. I also got Coffee and Kissy. And then I also purchased, this one's called Mina, and then this one is called High Voltage. So this one's more of like a fuchsia shade, and this is a red shade. So I did need a good red lip liner and a fuchsia lip liner, so I went ahead and purchased those two. So I'm gonna go ahead and try Sweet Tea because that's the one that I really wanted. So this is the shade right here. It's really pretty. I'm gonna go ahead and line my lips with this. Ooh, I love that shade. It's so pretty. So I am going to go in with one of these crayon type lip glosses. I think I'm going to use this one first. You know what? I think I'm going to go in with both of them because I really love the shades of both of them. One of them is a really kind of like a coffee brown, but it's very subtle. It's this one right here. So this one's called AKA, and I'm gonna swatch it so you guys can see. Such a beautiful like mid-tone brown. And I'm gonna use this one, but I'm gonna go in with the other one as well. And honestly, the great thing about these is they're pointed, so you really don't need a lip liner. But I'm glad I tried the Sweet Tea because I really wanted that one. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with the shade ROFL. This is more of like a peachy tone shade. And I'm gonna go on the center with this one. Okay, this one's very beautiful nude peach tone. These are so creamy, guys. I've really never tried these. And man, I don't know why I haven't because they feel so good on the lips. All right, so let's go over these products really quickly. I'm gonna start with the Buxom palette. Now, the whole reason I purchased this palette was of course for these purple shades here. Now I will say the matte purple shade, the royalty shade, went on really pigmented, but once I started to blend around it, my brush was actually taking off the product. So I was disappointed about that because as much as I paid for the palette, I figured that at least this purple or these purples would work. The other purple shade is very, very light, so I had to wet my brush and kind of go over my eyelid with a wet brush and that shade. So I don't know, guys. I did buy this for the purple shades and they just didn't come off like I wanted them to. I do like the eye look, but I had a hard time blending. So I don't know, guys. As much as I paid for this, I feel like the bright shades should work and they really don't work to my liking. So unfortunately, this was a fail for me. Even though the other shades in the palette worked well, the two shades that I used, those worked well, but I really wanted these two shades to work well and blend well and have some pigmentation to them. So for the Nabla Skin Glazing Independence Blush, and I say this is a blush because it is very pigmented. It came off like a blush. I love this blush, guys. I think it looks so gorgeous on the cheeks. It came off so beautifully. I'm definitely going to try more of these blushes. This does have a really beautiful glow to it, which I love. You don't have to really add a highlighter if you're using this type of blush. So yeah, this is really beautiful on the skin. I love it. I'm so glad that I tried it. And then of course the Milani Supercharged sticks. These were too light as a swatch. So I knew that they weren't going to work on my skin. So unfortunately, I will not be using these. I may go ahead and give them to one of my daughters because my daughters are a little bit lighter skin tone than I am. So they might show up on them. And then for the Maybelline Perfector 4-in-1, I love this too, guys. I think it looks so good underneath my foundation. I still am getting a really nice glow with this underneath the foundation. That foundation's more of a natural satin finish to me. I just feel like this gives a really beautiful glow underneath. I honestly don't feel like it conceals, but it does brighten, or not brighten, but highlight the areas. I do feel like it kind of color corrects because it kind of makes everything kind of like one tone. And I do feel like it's a self-adjusting tone for my skin because when I put it on, it looked a bit dark, but after a while, it just kind of blended in. So I really like this product. Like I said, there's only 4 shades. So this is really not a foundation. It's more of like a tinted primer with added benefit. Another thing I'm loving is, of course, my Morphe Sweet Tea. I love this. I also love these lip crayons. Those are really good. And then for the Falscara kit, these did go on very easily. I will say that if you're looking for something that looks like a little more glam, a lot more fuller, then these aren't going to be the lashes that you want to get because they are very thin, like they look like lashes. So I do like that because you can wear these like during the day for a very soft look. Even if you just want to wear some lashes and not go through the trouble of having to put like a strip lash on, this is a perfect alternative. I will say that it does take a little bit of getting used to because normally I'm used to placing the lashes on top of the lid, and this one you have to place underneath and you have to get them at least close to each other. This was my first eye that I did, and it looks like it's not, it looks like it's kind of overlapping, like it's not side by side, so I kind of messed up on this one. But this one here went on a little bit better than this one, and I really do like them. I think they're pretty, but if you're trying to do a glam look, I would not suggest getting these. Another thing I want to mention is I did purchase like the singles by themselves, and I also purchased the remover, the Falscara remover. I just felt like buying that remover product is probably going to be better for removing these type of lashes than my Clinique remover. But yeah, I went ahead and purchased more of these because I would just love to wear these on an everyday basis. I feel like these look kind of like lash extensions, you know, because with lash extensions, they do go from the root and the edge of the lash. So this would be more of my like everyday lash. Obviously, I'm still gonna wear my strip lashes because I don't have a lot of lashes. As a matter of fact, I did order a lash serum that's rated pretty high, and it's not Revitalash or New Lash. I think it's called Nourish Lash. I'm not sure, but when I get it, I will show you guys. So I really like the way the look came out, but unfortunately some of the products didn't work for me like I wanted them to. But either way, I loved trying all this new makeup. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new here, and we will see you guys on the next one. Bye.